Greetings, beautiful nerds. Welcome to our episode of Shadows of Ashcaleen, exploring the homebrew world of Odromia following the catastrophic fall of the city of Ashcaleen. I'm excited to continue this journey with my wonderful cast here as they sojourn through this world, encountering all manner of new and exciting adventures, taking us, as of last session, into a previously unexplored by any players ever, all the way in the north, the Crystal Expanse, where the elves call home. But in terms of our adventures, who better to introduce themselves than them? Starting with Jess.
Hi, I'm Jessica. I was not expecting that. I go by I Sneeze Stars online in places like TikTok and Instagram, or D in Denial, where you can catch me doing all of the other D&D stuff. And I will be playing Elindra Shadowghast, the party's Hellfire Elf Warlock. Hi.
Hello, I'm Kreya. You can find me on all socials as Kreya. I am playing Atara Valor, who is a female tiefling, ? Currently tiefling, forever tiefling, who knows? Fighter. So, yeah. Rain, if you want to wrap it up.
Okay. I am Rain. I go by Virgo Rain on TikTok as well as Instagram for all of my cosplay and mermaiding adventures. I am Fig, the tallest of the group. She is a satyr who is a Sorlock with sore luck.
Uh-huh.
The best of luck. And of course, as always, I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Andy, aka Mr.DanDyDM, and I can be found on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and on all the other socials that matter. If you happen to come across this episode and you enjoy it, please consider going all the way back to witness the fall of Ashcaleen and seeing how this lovable band first came together. Also, you can enjoy some of the other shows that I have on there, The Survivors of Ashcaleen, and of course, the new show that I'm currently running, Our Flag Means Doom. We do, of course, appreciate We do, of course, appreciate all of you who have liked and subscribed thus far. And now that we've got our intros out of the way, let us dive into our episode of Shadows of Ashcaleen. No, I like this music. I like this. This is perfectly fine. I like this. As we come back with all of you, we find you having just been left behind within Minthimae's or Galagel Minthimae's library, where a lot of things have been given to you in terms of lore, in terms of information. And what nuggets or what specific things do each of you focus on, or what has grabbed your attention from all of the things that were told to you?
In a momento, I think I have like 4 different sticky notes here, and I need to find the most recent one because I'm super interested in the creation stories that might be in this library.
Okay.
Also, is there like a Dwarvish to Elvish translation book?
Ooh. This is okay. All
That's
right.
actually that's a really good thing to find.
Okay. What else?
You just said the fairy tales that we were kind of looking at, but specifically the knights and whatever else we can figure out about them other than what our paladin friend who left the room correct?
Yes, he left you.
He left. With booze, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
we gave him the booze and he cried.
Yeah.
So you're talking about his order or the
a little bit of both. Whatever kind of comes up, because I know that we're looking for that symbol of like the red fist.
Mhm.
I know that. But also if we can correlate any of that to, it's not his order, but the order from the stories. I'm blanking on the specifics, but it's like the keepers.
Oh, the cleric guardians.
Yeah, that's it.
From the Feywild.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm trying to see if maybe there's any sort of connection there somehow, as far as like anything, like if they had fought anybody with the red fist or anything. I don't know. We're throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Okay.
I got a question for you. Did you tell us in game, like did we find out in game where that one portal is?
I believe
And nobody knows where the other one is.
Yes, nobody knows where the other one is. The only other mention of the other portal is that it's on a place called the Whispering Isle.
Yeah, that's okay. So we did find out. So there's a list of stuff that she'd want to do. She'd definitely want to find out about this Whispering Isle, but I feel like I have some basic understanding about it. Just not a huge but I know where it is on a map.
If you were to find, okay, so the thing is that the Whispering Isle, it is, you actually would not know anything really about it. It is, in terms of what has been told to you, it is uncharted. People do know where it is, but it's specifically left off maps because they don't want sailors going there.
Yeah. Is uncharted. Write that down. Okay. Caught it. Creation stories. You want to know about the red fist?
As you are sort of all just sort of taking in all of this, sort of the immensity of the library, this is very different.
Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. I mean, this is very different than any environment that you've been in previously, as your experience has either been the circus or the Feywild. And this is just new territory. You're also a little bit cold because it's different climate, different temperature. Yes, they do keep it nice and toasty for the most part, but it's like when like people who grow up in the South and then they suddenly travel to the North, like people in Florida suddenly going to Massachusetts. They're just always cold. So, oh, go ahead.
I want to try and learn about stuff that might have been around before our gods.
So before the creation.
Yeah. Also, is there a fireplace in here that I could just whoosh something for Fig to sit by?
Yeah, there is a fireplace. There is also around that fireplace two very, very ornate, poofy chairs. We're talking basically elven lazy boys, overstuffed.
Amazing.
And they have very nice end tables that are right next to them with small cylinders with a light crystal on the top that have this dancing blue light inside of it.
I'm immediately at one of those crystals after I've lit the fire because it's blue light, it's blue flame. I'm like, hello, little one.
Well, actually, it isn't a flame per se. It's just this glow. It's just a glow of energy inside of it. In the meantime, while I'm assuming Atara and Elindra, you're both sort of moving through the library, looking for books, manuscripts. Fig, what are you doing?
She's glancing around, and of course, the flooring is also something that she's getting used to because she's used to either like, wooden tavern floors or just outside.
I don't like the
Right.
feeling.
Click, clap.
So you can hear Fig like everywhere, and I'm sure there's a nice echo from the acoustics all around and whatnot. And so she's watching them, and then so she just let me ask, is like Atara and Elindra, are they kind of like looking a little confused with all the different languages that are at the books are written in?
I'll ask them.
What do I see?
Given the immensity of knowledge, I would say, Elindra, you probably are more comfortable with sort of a library such as this. Atara, from your past life, you do remember being in rooms that had large amounts of books, and there were people who would study those books, but nothing this big.
Yeah.
And so it is daunting, I'll say. Maybe even to a little bit Elindra, because there are just many different languages that are represented, like knowledge.
I almost speak like 3 languages.
So you did give me an investigation check, Elindra, because you did say you wanted to find a Dwarvish to Elvish book for translation.
Right, hang on.
Guidance.
Thank you.
Oh, that was so nice of you.
Don't betray me. Will you roll it for me? Because I brought my D20s. 4s!
4. Well, you can't even see it, but yeah, 4.
Okay, but like still like I rolled a 7. So what am I putting at that? Perception or what was the roll?
So investigation.
Investigation?
Yes.
Plus 4, 15.
Oh, okay. And when you said I rolled a 7, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but
it does take you a while still to find because it's not in the part of the library where you think. It's not in the Dwarvish section. It's actually in its own separate section, which is actually just devoted to translation tools. Okay. So it's like, and all of these books have chains around them so that you can't just walk away with the book.
That's not a problem. Can I burn it?
The book?
No, I'm going to heat up my hand and burn the chain off.
You can certainly try.
Oh, I hate that. I wish she would.
Feels like there's going to be an alarm.
Okay.
Can you kind of notice Elindra doing this?
Yeah. I mean, you're Fig. I feel like you're sort of just. There's like these long tables in this library, and you sort of just like. You're just like leaning up against one, and you're sort of just looking at everything, and you're taking it all in and soaking up all of this. This is a very new experience for you, and it's very thrilling, because it's a new story. It's a new story that you can share, or you could compose something about or performance about. And so there's that aspect, but then there's also it's also very pretty in here.
It is.
I mean, for a place. I'm not one necessarily to romanticize the public library, but there is definitely something romantic about going to a place to find knowledge. And the internet's great, but like, yeah, go to your public libraries. Support your libraries.
Yeah.
They're good for you. So you're just sort of looking around and you're seeing all this, but then you're also seeing like Atara's just sort of like wandering down one aisle, just sort of like periodically is just sort of like looking at the different organization methods. And then there's Elindra, who's over by the dictionaries and the translation documents. And she has a flame that is coursing out of her hand. So that's surprising.
So it does go over to Elindra, and it's kind of like trying to be a little cool about it, but like, from what I read, flames and paper don't mix. So what are you thinking?
I was thinking I could melt the metal chain, so I could go and sit down with the book.
What's wrong with right here?
Don't tell me where I have to read.
I'm asking why you have fire. You have fire here. What is this book? What book is this?
It's Dwarvish to common, so that we can read that's the lovely children's book that Atara found.
Oh, you can't read Dwarvish?
No, I can't read Dwarvish. Why would I know how to read Dwarvish?
Only if you knew someone who could comprehend languages.
Is that something you can do, and then you just failed to mention it at the time?
How was I going to mention it? Where, like, oh, hi, my name is Fig. I can comprehend languages.
We were together looking at books, and all of us went, I have no idea what this book says. Pretty pictures.
You're right, but, I was looking around, and it was pretty, and so now I'm paying attention. Do you need my help?
I love this so much. I love this so much.
It's a real mood, though. Like, oh wait, now we're getting down to business.
Like because there's something sort of like character development about it, but there's also just something mechanical about it with Fig being a creature of chaos that she is. She's like, next session.
Okay.
It's so perfect.
When it comes to destroying things, so yeah, I would love to help you read this without burning it.
Well, I don't need the translation book if you can read the original text that we're trying to translate.
Then let's do that. Sounds like a great idea.
I drop the book and it just hangs by the chain.
Disrespected.
I'm angry at this book for making me feel stupid. Oh, Snorted, no. Let's read this kid's book. What is it? What does it say?
Okay. I'm hoping we would get to this. So, are you sitting down in front of the fireplace to read the book?
Yes, I'm waiting for my story.
Okay.
I'll sit on the floor. You can sit on the high chair.
Okay.
Atara will wander over with like an armful of just like books that she also found.
So,
wait, let me
really
get
quick,
mine too.
Atara, give me also an investigation check, because you were also looking for specific things regarding the Red Fist and Eladrin Cleric Guardians.
That's an 8 in total.
So
Always guidance. Damn it. Fuck. I'm sorry.
You find some cursory manuscripts regarding the Red Fist. It is nothing, and it's probably no wonder that it is this way, given that this is a organization that is shrouded in secrets and does not make it a habit of letting its business just float out into the world, where they operate from the shadows. But what you do gather is that the Red Fist, they pop up a couple times in the history of Adromia. They are usually encountered in Nimrion, but have been known to operate overseas in Suristir. But the key thing is that they usually only appear during times of great cataclysm. Oh. And they are always present. They usually have a connection with curse a breaker of oaths, and the undead.
Okay.
A curse? Is that what you said?
A curse?
Mhm.
A breaker of oaths, and the undead.
Are there any names written?
There are no names.
Okay.
There are no names. There
names.
there are some dates
Okay.
that when they first appeared on the scene, dating all the way back to before the great cataclysm that took place that compressed the world and the continents together. And also, based off of stories told, caused a massive abyss to form within the ocean.
They caused a massive abyss?
They did not cause it. They were present when it happened.
Okay.
Or right before it happened. In many ways, in terms of their overall, the rumors that have been gathered and the knowledge that has accrued, they're like the horsemen of the apocalypse.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
When you see them or when they are present, that usually
That's
means
bad.
shit is about to go down.
Not good. Real
You
bad.
just saw one.
Mm-hmm. I did. Yeah. More than saw one. It summoned me.
Oathbreaker.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Oathbreaker. He's wearing paladin shit. For Bahamut.
The second thing, and I'll actually say, because those are two separate topics, I'll actually say, give me another investigation check for the other item.
Guidance. Good. Thank you. Yes.
Oh my god.
That one is a 1.
I'm trying so hard to help you,
rolled
but
a
like.
nat 1.
No, I
Did
did
you do
not.
it with
But
advantage?
I have
just got a
negative
1.
1 to investigation, and I rolled an 8 on the die. So -1 plus 1, it's a solid 8.
Once again, an 8. That's simply stunning. So, in terms of knowledge surrounding the Eladrin Cleric Guardians, again, this is cursory stuff. There's tiny nuggets, nothing extensive that you are able to find. Maybe if you had the owner of the library there, he would be able to just look at stuff and just be like, boom, 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 tell you everything. But alas, Eladrin Cleric Guardians, they are an order. Hold on one quick second. I have to reference my notes because there's a specific name for their order. They are
Perfect.
Potatoes.
I don't think I can spell that, but I could give it a go.
the order of the Hoity-toity. Yeah.
You have to say it exactly like that every time, which I cannot do because I cannot.
Not the Council of Nine, Cleric Guardians, manuscripts, blah, blah, blah.
So so I'll start there. So the Council of Nine are the arbiters of the humanoid races within the Feywild. They are the rulers, in a sense, within the citadel, the ruling citadel within the Feywild.
Yeah.
They are housed within the mighty tree. It's this massive tree in the Feywild that has this city that is weaved throughout its massive trunks. And it's honestly a sight to behold.
Sounds cool.
This crystalline, basically this central crystalline shard that is basically piercing this massive world tree. And then beneath it spreading out from its roots is the actual Feywild and beyond.
It's Yggdrasil, kind of.
There is a mixture of that, but there's also sort of like the movie Avatar, not the last Airbender, the James Cameron Avatar. Those
blue ones.
Giant trees. So sort of like in terms of like a image.
Andy's gonna reference all the Avatar movie, not the show, the movie specifically.
Not the great masterpiece of a show, but James Cameron's ripoff of Dancing with Wolves.
Yeah.
So
And Pocahontas.
and Poco.
Yes. Oh, Grandma.
Oh my goodness. The name of the. Why am I having such a hard time? The Order of the Twilight Sun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. So in terms of what you find, Atara, you find a manuscript stating the origination of the order. When the portals were first discovered, and when they were first being mapped by members of the Council of Nine, but it was sort of like a collective effort between. This is in the very early days of Odromia. It was a collective effort between. There were some mortals who contributed, but it was mainly Archfey, elves. There were a handful of dwarves, mainly races that had significant longevity, who were able to find these portals and remember and keep traveling through this space.
Yeah.
The Order of the Twilight Sun is located within the Feywild. The Order was founded by a small group of Eladrin that sought to do two things: learn to control their chaotic nature, brought on by living in the Feywild, and keep watch over the multiverse, the different pathways to the different multiple planes of existence. The Order, now near over a millennia in age, is home to all manner of species from across the multiverse. There are some humans, but mainly Eladrin, High Elves, and there's also been known to the odd orc in there as well. As well as gnomes and at one time a tiefling. Although that
But
was
only the once.
Only
the
one.
once.
Only
Well,
one tiefling. Okay.
And it was the only way that happened was because there was a treaty that was at one time brokered, and then that treaty fell apart. But that tiefling
Oathbreaker!
was still still maintained their oath to the Order of the Twilight Sun. In terms of how they all sort of found their way into the Order, some purposely found their way to the Feywild, others lost their way. No matter how they came to be, the clergy of the Twilight Sun took them in. Some chose to stay and make the monastery within the Feywild and their home. Others chose to return to their respective planes. But every single one of them, if they decided to go back to their respective planes, they were given the charge of guarding one of the two portals in that or on that world. And there, for whatever reason, nobody knows why, but from all of the mapping and journeying that was done, there, for whatever reason, are always two. There are always two portals that give access to the other worlds. And again, for whatever reason, and this isn't, if you were thinking about it, if you were studying the lore, you would be looking at it and being like, why would you put the hub for where all of these portals, a lot of them lead? All of these portals seem to lead to a central locus. And it seems to be that the Feywild, the most chaotic
place.
a place not known for being the most orderly.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because in terms of like how we view like creation in the universe, out of chaos, you get order.
Yeah.
It springs from that. And so that also helps you answer Elindra's question about the origin points before maybe the gods or before creation. The monks, you learn, they train in one of two monastic ways: the way of the Kensei or the way of shadow. They are fighting monks. That's what they do. But they also are known to be to have a faction within the Order of the Twilight Sun that is exclusively clerics. And those individually, those clerics are the ones who are given the charge of guarding the portals. The other monks, they will explore and like think of it in terms of like a pop culture reference. These are Jedi. That's exactly what they are.
Okay. Okay.
So they're the bad guys. Got it.
The Order has survived for so long because of their unique specializations. Those who choose to follow the way of shadow are the eyes and ears of the Order on different planes and worlds. And sometimes, when times have been at their most dire, they've had to rely on them in terms of fulfilling the function of assassin. But that's only a handful of times. Monks that follow the way of the Kensei are the Muscle, dedicated to defending the Order and guarding against threats from other planes of existence. The monastery has been known to welcome certain types of rangers, known as Horizon Walkers, into their fighting ranks. It is not uncommon for these rangers to have studied and trained at the monastery. And this is where the this is what draws your curiosity, Atara. The clerics serve as guardians and protectors of knowledge. Those that feel the call to be clerics serve in a rotation of duties on different worlds within the multiverse. They guard relics, ancient temple sites, and gateways and portals of unimaginable power. Yes. So, that is the knowledge that you're able to glean from these manuscripts that you sort of pull together as you go through.
All of our temples are gone, or are starting to leave. Does that mean they're losing access to here too?
It's definitely not helping them.
I would imagine. Yeah.
If you think about it, like, you guys ever thought about, or have you ever looked into fiber optic cable, like how it uses light, and it's sort of like all of these very tiny, thin cables but it's all located within one single strand, and it is all going to one place, but it is all of these hundreds of tiny cables that use light to,
it's like the Avatar tree thing. Avatar,
yeah.
I mean, James Cameron, WTF. But anyway, yes, this is it's how everything moves, and when you have all of these temples falling, or if not falling, being removed suddenly, and when you have ley lines being severed, that's when things get very difficult to maintain those connections. That is what Atara discovers. Thankfully, helped by Fig to, I just imagine, sort of Fig, you're sort of standing over, looking over Atara's shoulders as Atara's frantically scrambling over the manuscripts, and you're just sort of pointing out random words.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Just different piles.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and then it exploded. That's the Big Bang Theory. That fact.
After you do this, though, there is a moment where everyone sort of gathers around the fireplace for the reading of this children's storybook. Fig, are you going to cast Comprehend Languages?
I am. Let me get on that. Dum-dum. Casted.
That is a broken-ass spell.
Yeah.
Yes,
it is.
For the duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language that you see. So actually, Fig is the one who will be reading this book, not Elindra.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's
okay.
We were sitting down for story time.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, you were sitting down on the floor, and
Fig
was sitting in the chair.
With her
Oh, got it. So yes, you all sort of gather around the fireplace. Fig, you're sitting in the overstuffed elven lazy boy chair by the fire, and you have the book, and you cast the spell, and it's actually, I'll have you describe what it does. Is it like suddenly the words become the language that you know, and you're able to read it? Or is it just like you've always known this other language?
So the way I was thinking is, of course, Fig is kind of just relaxing in the chair, kind of like off kilter a little bit, her hooves hanging off of one of the armchairs. Is that when
Adorable.
she opens like the beginning of the book, it is just, just all shapes and squiggles. And then it almost kind of like just kind of swirls together, kind of blurry, and then it comes in to she can just read it easily. And her native language, of course, is going to be Sylvan. So it is Sylvan to her. And
Okay.
it goes like that. That's the way she is visualizing it.
So it's almost like a triple translation of sorts. So this is a dwarvish children's story that is converted into Sylvan, and then you're reading it to them in common. So it's wow.
The Google Translate.
That is
Sorry.
Amazing. I love that. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Fig, you read these words, and as you're reading the words, you're also turning the pages to the book, and the artwork is vibrant, very dwarvish in sort of its style, very angular and blocks everything. But these are the words you read. These are the words that you read. Once upon a time, in a quaint, quiet village, lived a curious and adventurous child named Maya. She had a wild imagination and a heart full of courage. Maya had a favorite toy, a little wooden sword with a blue ribbon hilt. She took it with her everywhere and imagined herself as a brave knight, a guard for the kings, on grand adventures. One sunny morning, Maya decided to explore the woods near her village. The woods had always intrigued her, with their tall, ancient trees, very different from the stone city that she was hailing from. These tall, ancient trees with secrets waiting to be discovered. With her toy sword at her side, she ventured deeper into the forest, her steps filled with determination and a hint of excitement. As Maya wandered further, she stumbled upon a peculiar, overgrown path she had never seen before. The path seemed to lead to a place she had only heard about in bedtime stories. The Nevermore, the ancient storehouse of the gods. It was said that this mystical realm held the remnants of creation itself, and Maya couldn't resist the temptation to explore it. She followed the path until she reached a massive, ancient tree with gnarled roots that formed a magical portal. It was like a doorway to another world. Without hesitation, though but a child, Maya stepped through, and in an instant, she found herself in a realm unlike anything she had ever imagined. The Nevermore was a place of wonder and enchantment, but also of loneliness. Sparkling stars floated through the sky, and luminous flowers sprouted from the ground. But the path to her coveted toy sword was not going to be an easy one. The gods who watched over the Nevermore had set challenges and puzzles to protect the treasures of creation. Maya's journey was filled with obstacles and trials. She faced a river made of shining crystals that she had to cross using only a boat made of leaves. She outwitted a mischievous raven who tried to steal her wayward thoughts. She even danced with a group of fireflies to learn a secret song that would guide her. But Maya was determined to retrieve her beloved toy sword. and she persevered through each challenge using her courage, wit, and kindness. Along the way, she made friends with mystical creatures who admired her determination and her pure heart. Finally, overcoming countless obstacles, Maya reached the heart of the Nevermore, where the treasures of creation were housed. There, in a glass case, she spotted not her cherished toy sword, but a new sword, glowing with an inner light. But it was surrounded by a field of energy, and the only way to break it was nowhere to be seen. That was until she encountered a guardian. And with her newfound friend's support, and as you're turning the pages, Fig, you see the artwork that is describing this guardian. And it's one of those, you know how some Magic the Gathering cards, they'll have like almost a holographic like color effect where it almost looks like it kind of moves or changes colors. In many ways, that's what the armor that this female guardian is wearing. And this, you see this guardian at first say to the child, "You're not supposed to be here. This is not your place. You seem lost. Do you know your way home?" Maya does not know her way home. And so she very cheekily asks the guardian, "No, you need to show me the way. I'm lost." With her newfound friend's support, Maya played the enchanting melody on a flute made of moonlight, and the force field shimmered, wavered, and then disappeared. She took her new beloved toy sword from its display and held it close to her heart. With her prize in hand, Maya knew it was time to return home. She said her farewells to this new guardian friend and all the friends that she had encountered along the way, and stepped back through the magical portal, leaving the Nevermore behind. Maya returned to her mountain village, not only with this new sword, but also with a heart full of courage, wisdom, and the knowledge that she could conquer any challenge that came her way. She continued to have grand adventures with her trusty sword, but she never forgot her incredible journey to the Nevermore, the ancient storehouse of the gods, and how wonderful a place it was. And it was with this story that she always found strength within herself that made her truly exceptional.
Is there a name on the book? Like an author?
There is not. It seems that whatever, because, Fig, you noticed this, as you were reading it, and you're sort of comprehending the languages, you're also picking up in the change in dialects that exist within Dwarvish. There's stories told by mountain dwarves, by hill dwarves. There's also stories told by the Duergar, who are in the Underdark. There are all of these different people, all of them dwarves, but all of them telling a similar story. It's sort of like how a lot of different, civilizations have a flood story. Or they have like through tradition or whatever. But this is a story that is very common within the dwarves. And sometimes the child is not named Maya. Sometimes they bear a different name. But it is always a story of a dwarf finding the realm of creation and taking, if not a sword, an item back with them. In this particular story, it's a sword.
Question.
Go ahead.
Can you post that in the chat? Because I could not keep up taking notes.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely post it in the chat for sure.
And second question, is the Tree of the Ancients where the other portal is? You don't know
that.
Me.
With the elves, there are also stories of creation. There are also stories of the gods. There are also stories of the many different mythologies that exist within the world of Odromia. And the Tree of Ancients is something that culturally is present within all of the different races. But it is never something that is tangible. It's always something that is in myth and legend. And no one has ever claimed to have seen it firsthand with witnesses. But that is the children's story.
So Fig just copy pastes.
Cute story.
Does any parts of this story sound familiar to like any of us? For like something that's similar to our childhood, like a riddle or just one of those kinds of phrases that some teacher somewhere said. Has it been basically like telephoned through our culture somehow?
Yes, it is definitely something that has been through at one time just the passing of verbal narrative from one generation to the next until finally someone had the brilliant idea of, hey, maybe I'll put some ink on some parchment and I'll actually record this story that I just heard. Or the version of that story that I just heard.
Okay. So it sounds vaguely familiar to like all of us, essentially.
Vaguely.
Yeah. Okay.
Never any of the specifics are the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For Fig, this is a new story for you.
Oh.
This is not a story that you are familiar with. This is not a legend that you've heard before. And that has more to do with your upbringing and where you're from.
Right.
You may have heard a vague story similar to this, but it is not necessarily something immediately within your memory.
I think we're screwed.
From a child's story. I mean, this was a good story. It was a good story. Nice.
It's quite lovely. But let's just point out a few things that we've learned just by being in this library. And she points to the one big mural. That's my creator making the world with other people, and that's my uncle helping him do it. There are Atara here, being the ever so clever one that she was, looked up the red fists, and those people all come before something very bad happens. And we haven't. She's already seen someone with a red fist, who, by the way, seems like they're the Oathbreaker. And now we've got a child's story about, I think, somewhere that my father's already been to. Oh, and all of the temples here have already been taken away, and the places of power and the ley lines are starting to be cut off. Oh, so in Ashcaleen, remember yesterday when we were talking about it? I was in there and I was fighting against someone who was probably the ringleader or all of this. And then I called my dad, and then everything went to shit.
And this ringleader, who was this? You got a good look of them. You know their name.
Yes. His name is Groget. He's a half demon, half devil. My uncle's bastard son. And also, he may have said hello again to me and then stabbed me and took my blood. Surprise!
At the same time. So while all of this was going down, he also took some of your blood.
No, while all of this was going down, he strangled me for a little bit, and then I called Daddy. Afterwards is it was in the tavern. He said hello in my dreams. It was, yeah.
So we have daddy issues? uncle issues,
We knew that.
and cousin issues.
I knew the daddy issue thing. I am
Technically,
Everybody's reading Elindra for filth right now.
Technically, Mephistopheles isn't my daddy. He's my maker.
All right.
I don't know. You guys don't know this, but all of Elindra would have died before saying that one.
Maybe this is a translation issue here, but that's what one would call their father, sort of.
Okay.
All right.
Yes. No.
Because
being a father generally means you have some sort of mother, like two things came together to make you and then raise you. Or at least one of them did. And I don't think I was raised. There's so many of us. How could he possibly have had all that time?
Well, when you have a lot of siblings, it does, only a couple parents and lots of siblings. They've only got so much time.
And
I'm literally I'm sentient flame. I feel like this doesn't count.
But if it weren't for him, you wouldn't be here.
Yes.
Daddy.
Yes, but you can make things. Yes, I am a thing that was made.
Daddy.
No.
Not father. Daddy.
She rolls her eyes.
It's for me. It's for me.
You're fine. You can call him daddy.
Is he cute?
Ew.
Big literally just laugh at that.
Is there a picture of him on the wall?
Yes.
Okay, so
does that look like him?
Last session there was I described there's a series of murals and tapestries on the walls, some of which depict at the beginning, in terms of the Elven version of what they believe creation must have looked like, an artist's approximation.
Okay.
There is basically around a circle of worlds. There are many, many gods, all of them seen in their individual moment, influencing aspects of the creation process. Mephistopheles and Asmodeus in their exalted form are seen there. And this is pre them being cast down. And from their casting, the nine hells and the abyss are formed.
So, yes, that is not who I met on the wall, at least.
Why can't I see it?
Click the actual message that I replied to.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I can't see it.
I'll just...
there he goes.
Oh, there it goes.
Okay.
But that's not what the tapestry scroll looks like.
No. Well, I mean, the tapestry is similar in that, but it is the way I'll explain how it is not similar.
Okay.
The creature bearing the markings of Mephistopheles is in gold and white, and he is his skin definitely still is more instead of blue, it is more of purple.
Oh.
Elindra has never met her uncle or Grosjean before.
You never met
until
Asmodeus.
He was like strangling me.
Never met Asmodeus, never met Grosjean.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Fascinating.
Oh, and Korth Vol made an appearance, eh?
Yes,
well,
he did.
He's the original hottie.
Showed up in episode 1, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said he has your blood? Or did that happen in a dream?
So I can basically, I have a scar on my hand So it happened in the dream, but I woke up with the scar.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking that he took my blood. I have to actually call him and be like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, that feels exactly like something he shouldn't have.
Yeah. So I will have that conversation, like when we go to bed. I'll be like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I also haven't called Daddy
good.
in forever, too. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's been like, what, 3 nights?
Mm-hmm.
Which Elindra has called Daddy every night since she found out.
She tried.
She tried, and then he sent Atara, and she was like, "Oh,
this is weird."
Not. This is literally where Elindra's head is at right now, because it was you showed up after I made that deal. She's like, I wonder if she's either here to protect me or kill me. What's the doodles?
Oops.
That's where Elindra's at.
That's a fascinating idea. Anyway, so we have read this story. We have looked on the walls and seen this tapestry of 2 of the beings that are normally located within the 9 hells in their pre-cast down form. And go ahead.
Is the Pale Knight on there?
No, they're not.
Thank you. Just give me my theories. Give me my theories.
In terms of the reference to the Pale Knight is a demoness who is believed, at least in part. The stories surrounding it are very weak, but there seems to be a direct connection between the Pale Knight and Asmodeus, and potentially being the mother of Grajit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask. Hey, cousin, is your mama the Pale Knight? She crazy? Sorry. Nothing bad could possibly go wrong.
Nothing bad could possibly go wrong with asking Grajit about his mom. So
I'm gonna do it.
Just to satisfy my own interest, what does, after reading this story, what is Fig's first thoughts surrounding it? Also, after having just taken in this world, this new part of the world that she's encountering for the first time. And also, how do they view Elindra and Atara at this point?
Fig would actually think it's much more interesting of what she assumed, because she thought, say, more of the material plane, all you do is just entertain these just, more human folk who tend to be, I want to say more bland, but just humans. They're just, that. But then she's got 2, hellfire, feisty, infernal creatures. And it's coming to be more chaos than what she expected, which actually is feeding a lot of her just, let's do this. She's becoming very ride or die with them, because the more and more she just all right, I'll help out. All right, I'll come. All right, this is exactly what she's asking for, plus more, because it's always something, and it's becoming more and more intertwined and chaotic and stuff. So she's very reading. This is a good book. This is a good book. She just keeps, so she's loving it. She really is.
The plot thickens.
So she views her companions as holding her interest because they are spicy.
Yes.
That's a spicy meatball. Yes. Okay. So yeah, Fig goes back to the Feywild once a year. It is a situation where they Korth Vol may have at one time been a former member of the Council of Nine. And then he was like, I'm way too chaotic for this shit. I need to get out of here.
Let's go.
And
Okay.
and so he decided to form the most chaotic thing he could imagine, a circus that randomly shows up every once a year and randomly takes people.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun adventures
Oh,
throughout the
They
plains,
come back.
and then drops them
Okay.
back off a year later, having gone on all of this crazy shenanigans, and they are somehow a little bit altered, which is probably what would happen to anybody. They're not harmed. They're just different.
They're
a
just
little
traumatized.
shifted.
They've basically just gone through that scene in Willy Wonka where they're in that boat going through that tunnel and they come out the other side and they're like,
yeah. Whoa. Yeah, I love that.
But yes, you have delved quite heavily into a lot of lore, a lot of mythology, a lot of the creation myth. There's even some stuff, maybe hints of what preceded creation. You've uncovered some things about the Red Fist, about the Eladrin Cleric Guardians, which are referenced in the story.
I mean, I suppose we have somewhere. Well, do we really have anywhere to start? If say the Red Fist has shown up again, we're still missing two. And if they do show up, that's sort of, well, something bad is happening, isn't it?
Well, I mean, technically, I went there, and I don't know where there was, and you know, he might not have been on this plane. So maybe they are not here, and the world is not completely doomed, and we can return you safely home, and I can continue just living my life.
Maybe. Maybe. Would you like to rest? And we can leave in the morning.
Yes, I would like to try out the pillows that we asked for.
Do that. But I have a little bit of if you are fire of some sort, how are you why are you not in a lantern or something, or you know what I mean? Like
a
how
sprite?
are you?
Like a
Yeah,
fire?
well, if
Would it make you
think
feel
about
better
it.
if I sat in the fireplace?
Can you?
Yes. She'll go and just turn into flame and sit in the fireplace. Do you feel better?
Just, I feel like it is adding on to the job requirement that I definitely signed up for. That was not mentioned, that you are quite literally fire, and if you think about it
Hellfire.
from my perspective, yes, but fire also, you know, so just became a little more complex. I mean, it was already complex. Yes, let us sleep. Maybe it'll, if you need to, you know, be in a lantern, I will carry a lantern for you if that is what you need.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yes.
But if I'm that small, then I'm probably on my way to being extinguished. So
That is good to know. I will make a note of that.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how I'm walking around and doing what I'm doing. Mephistopheles made me like this, and that's how I am. And when it's my turn to be a spy, I get born to a different family, and I'm a spy until he decides that I'm useful, and he tells me what I am again.
All right. So you are different bodies every time? Like you are a different species, but you are always fire, or do you always look like this?
I'm always fire. I don't always look like this. I think.
You think.
Here's the thing. I don't remember the lives that I've had because he takes those memories for his story.
All right. And he is writing a book?
I don't know. I think it's just for information.
All right. Like a log to keep everybody on the same page besides you and your how many siblings? How many?
Lots.
All right.
I don't know if I can count that high. Right?
You've never known how many.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many.
It's
so
because, and it has a lot to do with a couple of things. One, the unity is a central flame. It is a single flame within the within Kenya that is housed within Mephistopheles' laboratories, and it is held there. Every time one is used or taken out of it, they are then sent abroad. They accumulate knowledge and stories and experiences. They bring it back, and then they are reabsorbed back into the unity. Okay. It's never a situation. That's why Elindra has mentioned a couple of times about how they don't want to go back.
Well, yeah,
because they know that given a certain amount of time back, they will lose all of the
everything. Yeah.
Everything.
Interesting. All right. Well,
on the subject of memory,
and I explained that.
Just out of curiosity, how many memories / things has Fig collected over the years?
Names, people who have sipped from the Feywine.
Oh, you got what's his name? Sorry. I'm so bad with names. Our paladin friend.
Finn?
The Belvedere.
Yeah.
It would have to be Feywine.
Feywine, yeah.
Oh, was that not Feywine? That
no, it's Lunic.
That was just
Oh,
in the tavern.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like quite a bit. She's only had one casualty. But the others have been, shifted, altered. It's fun to play with like toys, like a catch and release kind of like fishing pond, and then just send them back, like bewildered is the best way to put it. But she's collected enough to where if she sits back, she'll it's enough to chuckle at.
Mm-hmm.
And keep going. Minimal guilt. No guilt, actually.
It's at this point, as you are all sort of exchanging bits and pieces of each other's stories, and you're asking questions surrounding the stories that you've read, the histories that you've encountered, you hear a knock on the library door. And
oh, I'm still in the fireplace. God damn it.
The pillows hadn't been delivered yet, correct?
No.
Just wanted to make sure. There's the rap at the door, and it's there's a pause.
don't move. I don't move. I just pretend because the door's open, right?
No, it was closed.
Oh no!
Closed.
I
He closed it
immediately
behind
dive out. I'm turned back into myself. I'll get it for you. I answer the door.
There is a bespectacled, one bespectacled elf, male, who looks very much a nerd, and then just a female, sort of a mousy.
What's that look like, Andy? What's that look like? A nerd?
You know exactly what it looks like.
You know exactly.
I was like,
This, but with long silvery white hair, and no facial hair to speak of. This elf, again, silvery white hair, looks to be young. He's wearing a tunic with like a vest, and has sort of very jagged, what look to be like ice tattoos on his arms, like sleeves, and he has violet eyes, and he has a large basket of very large, poofy pillows. Behind him is a female elf. It looks like they could be sister and brother. And they standing at the door. One of them is holding one side of the large basket. The other one's holding the other. And sorry, someone requested a basket of pillows.
Oh, Figgy.
The fluffiest kind of pillows.
Figgy, your pillows are here. I like Figgy. Can I call you Figgy?
Of course. I don't mind.
I'll open the door so that they can bring the pillows in.
They do.
So you said it was just those two?
Yes.
I suppose just drop them anywhere, or did you want them in a room for yourself, Fig?
Are we sleeping in the library? No, right? We have our own. Yes.
I'm assuming. Well, we're in someone's house, so we can choose a room.
Are we going to stay here? I thought we were just going to. Oh yes, we are staying here. I thought we were. No, I thought we were just looking at the library here.
Well, I thought we were going to rest before heading out again. We can leave right now if you like.
True.
Rest here amongst pillows. And where would we rest?
Elindra goes to look for a bedroom.
Big is going to ask actually the silver-haired elf guy with the tats and glasses and
with the tats and glasses.
Smash.
We love him.
Make like, so where are we staying? We have those pillows there. Be delivered here, or are they going to be to a?
I'm so sorry. I was told to come in. I wasn't directed to any of the rooms. I wherever you would like me and my sister to drop them.
I just stand aside and let you do what you're gonna do.
They can escort us to our rooms. I thought that's what happens with guests. We don't know the layout here.
I'm sorry. I was just told to bring pillows. I'm not actually. I'm not a steward of the house.
What are you?
They never tell us any of this important. You would think this would be important to know. And he's talking to his sister, and she says, "Just help them, Egeron." And He just is like, okay, fine, and he like drops his end of the pillow basket, and he's like, please follow me, and he walks out of the library.
Who's going to bring the pillows?
Are we done?
We're all standing around looking at each other like, what?
I guess.
Are we good now?
Yeah. Atara will follow behind. We can always come back. Like if we, once they leave or whatever, we can always come back down, or over, or as she's like on her way out.
I'll follow.
Okay. You follow him down a long hallway. There are many different rooms that sort of come off of this hallway, but as you come into the central portion of the house, there is a very large staircase that goes up and sort of winds around the interior of this, almost like this tower. And there are multiple different levels and floors to this space. And it is interesting, at the very top of this tower, you can sort of see just how fierce there is a snowstorm outside. But through that, you're able to see that all of the light from the sun, as it's sort of making very small piercings of sunlight through the storm clouds. Once it hits the snow right above where the crystal is, suddenly it cascades down to a rainbow, like almost a prismatic effect that sort of covers the interior of this staircase area and the many different floors with this rainbow color that sort of changes, or doesn't change, but it sort of is like with each floor there is a new color.
Ooh.
So the very bottom portion of where you are, there is a blue tint to it, and as you ascend, it gets slightly more green and then yellow, and then there's almost a purplish and then red, but it's all just sort of very sort of light, not like it's not a dark or heavy color. It's just sort of very just light, just sort of scatters throughout the space. And as you are making your way up, he then leads you to there's in this household, because it is a mansion, or basically a really nice condo. It is there are many different floors, and each floor seems to have its own function. So on the ground floor, you had some of the kitchen spaces, but you also had the library down on the ground floor, as well as a banquet hall. So there was blue, then there was green. The green, there seems to be some kind of almost
like a nursery.
Greenhouse? Yes, a nursery. Thank you. So yes, these it appears that Galagel Minthimae, when his family first left the Velven forests in Nimrion, took plants and brought them, and have been keeping them alive and raising them within his own home. And so this green portion, or this green floor, there's a wide array of different flora that is just, you can sort of just see. And Elindra, you can sort of like pick out, oh, I've been there, I know where that's from. And as you ascend, you get into there is a yellow, which appears to be a second library, but seems to be devoted to very singular.
Are they smut books?
I didn't say that. And as you continue to go up towards the top, towards the top floor, you go into there's the purple floor, which is completely locked off, and then on the top floor, the red portion, which it sort of is treading the line between a red and a pink, almost. As it gets closer to the light, sort of the red color dissipates into a pink. And as you look around, you see there are multiple bedrooms that go off of this staircase, about 10. And all of them seem to be, there's 2 bedrooms that seem to be devoted to children, and then there's several guest bedrooms, and there's the master that appears to be for when they decide to sleep together, and there are some other bedrooms that are when they are not. And sometimes you just got to sleep alone. You got to sleep in the couch. But that is the way the top floor is situated.
Thank you for your help. Can you get the pillows?
Egeron, he... Yes, I yes, I can. I assume, do you want me to divide the pillows up evenly amongst the are you all dwelling together, or do you wish to have 3 separate rooms?
They're all for her. Point to Fig.
Oh. And as his eyes just sort of like light on you, he sort of like takes you like the width and breadth of you, Fig, for the first time. And you are significantly, he's a tall elf, but you are significantly taller than him. And you are, your Fae characteristics, as you have proceeded up the many different levels of this house, and all of the rainbow colors just sort of have cascaded over you, it suddenly brings out all of these lovely features that he's just now taking in for the first time. And he sort of... I'm sorry. Yes, all for her. Okay. Yes. Yes. I'll have my sister and I. We'll bring up the pillows. And should you need anything, please don't hesitate to. In your rooms, you will find a crystal bell. All you have to do is ring it once, and one of us will be attending to you. Any of your needs, anything.
If I leave a tip, can I request you personally?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
He sort of like, as he's backing down, he sort of like misses the step, and he like trips and then he sort of like catches himself on like the barrister.
I golf clap.
And he's, I'll be right back. And he sort of like very trippingly moves back down the stairs. He's gone for about like 5 minutes, and then suddenly you see him and his sister scurrying back up the stairs, bringing the very large collection of very poofy, soft pillows back up the stairs, where he which
the big thing.
Oh, there. Okay. And he and his sister is just looking at him. She's in awe of all of you, but because you can tell that these two are fairly young elves. They're probably not as experienced or seen like the width and breadth of Odromia, like some of their parents have.
Like 80.
Sorry?
No, I was joking. I was like, they're like 80.
Yeah.
Basically. The sister, you can tell from Egeron as he's like talking to her in hushed tones. She is, her name is Aninyel Galamine.
Put them in the goddamn chat. I can't spell that.
All the vowels are elves.
Right? Like, I can't fucking say... Hi!
That's not how I spelled that, but...
Right? And, okay, cool.
I almost got a spit take earlier when Pyro put that on there. And that's Egeron.
Wait, what?
In the chat.
In the chat, right over the GIF. Hi. Oh my god, it hurts.
Here's our heavy pillows, lol.
Well, listen, you were like basket, and they both are holding a side of the basket. I was like, there's some heavy pillows. Something's gonna pop out of there.
So like it's sorry. These are incredibly soft, magnificently crafted, elvish crafted pillows. But
Okay.
they're about the size of a love sack.
Okay, that makes
They're
way more
huge.
sense.
Yeah.
So
like they're giant
all of them
beanbag
together would be
pillows.
heavy.
Yes. So the two of them, in terms of Aninyel, similar features to Egeron. The only difference is the eyes. They are a brilliant verdant green. And she has very silky copper skin. Just slightly shorter than Egeron. But very, very piercing green eyes. She, as Egeron is sort of like very like stuntedly talking to her because he's sort of also like trying to make sure that he's not in anyone's way, but also just sort of looking at Fig. She Aninyel's just like, all right, please stop being so bloody obvious. All right, I get it. And
Fig, you should keep him tonight.
Aninyel just looks as she, it's like one of those things where you're talking like very harshly or intensely to one person, but you suddenly remember that the other people are in the room, and suddenly Aninyel will turns back and she's like, so is there anything else?
That's when she hears, Fig, you should keep him for the night.
Immediately Aninyel's countenance changes and suddenly she becomes completely like
she's like the emoji with the line.
Will that be all?
I look at Fig.
Fig goes back into the pillows are already on the bed and all that jazz, right?
The pillows the pillows have been placed on the bed. They've been placed around the floor. Yeah. We're
fine.
back with fluffy, heavy pillows. They've been arranged throughout the room. There's also like there already were folded blankets in the corner of the room that were like on these shelves they had set up in the corner that would be used to like make the bed once somebody is moving into the room. Currently the bed is unmade. But there are at least 10 of these very giant. The way I think about these pillows in my mind is that they are like, picture the pillow that you would put a very fluffy cat on.
Yeah.
And then multiply that by like to a power of 10.
Perfect.
It is magnificent to behold. And there are 10 of these magnificent pillows that are arranged throughout the room. At least 4 on the bed, 6 throughout the room.
Amazing. Are the siblings just standing there still?
They're just waiting for you to tell them that their job is done, or if you need anything or require anything else.
So we just like watched them set all these pillows out and just stand there watching them.
Yeah. Yes. Aninyel seems to be very
awkward.
haphazardly tossing these pillows around the room. Egeron is sort of scrambling behind her, sort of like trying to like orient the pillows in a very like precise way. Aninyel doesn't seem to give a shit right now.
I don't get paid enough for this.
That's fair. That's very
Wait,
fair.
you guys get paid?
Wait a minute. Yeah, right. I love them. I guess. Are the two of you supposed to like stay here? I mean, to be honest, we could have probably done that whole pillow thing. It seems, as somebody who has siblings as well, that felt very sibling energy.
And Ninyel looks at you, Atara, and she's just like, well, why didn't you say so?
Huh?
I am not very familiar with what is in your job description or what you guys were tasked to do.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We are servants of the household. We have been asked to stay behind, as our Lord Galagel has departed on a journey. He has not given us mention yet as to when he'll be back, so it is our job to upkeep the house, make sure things are dusted, make sure the rooms are properly curated for visitors. There are people who do use his extensive library downstairs, as you saw. But this is, of course, the first time that we have had guests such as yourselves staying here for...
It's an honor.
Any reason? Okay. Oh.
How long?
Who can say?
You could. Like,
I won't, though.
We will be here for an extended time.
wait, did you just say you'll be here for an infinite time?
Extended.
Extended, infinite.
Tomato.
Tomato, tomato.
You see in the corner of like Aninyel's eye, there's like a twitch, which is uncharacteristic of elves, but it's like you just broke their brain slightly, because you're not being outwardly rude. You're answering their questions. You're just being very obtuse and vague.
How dare.
And Aragon's standing behind her, just sort of looking a tad like uncomfortable right now. Like he either wants to be in this room forever or nowhere in existence.
So, what time is breakfast, by the way? Just in the morning.
My brother and I usually get up when the sun rises, and we usually break our fast at that time. Usually, depending on the menu, there are several different proteins we could serve, as well as a large assortment of fruits and vegetables that we currently grow in the greenhouse and the nursery.
Oh, that nursery was so beautiful, by the way. It was lovely.
Aninyel's countenance changes once again, and suddenly she takes the compliment and she says, "Oh, thank you. That's my doing. I am the one who upkeeps the greens." And
you can sense the love that you put into it. It was amazing. So fresh.
Aninyel's countenance changes once again, and with each successive compliment, there's like a warmth as she just sort of is like, "Thank you. That is very kind of you to say. Galagel's always off doing some sort of exploration around who knows where, but very rarely. He just appreciates it when he's home, and very rarely, if even then. And so it's very nice to hear it from a complete stranger that my work is appreciated and is noticed. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome. And by the time that we leave here, we will be friends.
I have no doubt.
Yes.
She says, and sort of is very sort of respectfully bow just to each of you. So will that be all? Do you require anything? Anything?
We can find the kitchen. Why don't you take the night off?
There's this momentary look of confusion as to no one has ever given us a night off ever in the history of ever. Thank you. Aragon, do you Oh, I'm sorry. I said Aragon. Egeron.
Good book.
Egeron.
I wondered. I was like, wait a minute.
Perhaps you could cook the special dinner that you usually make for our guests. That sounds like. Thank you. That is a capital suggestion.
I love that she didn't give him the night off. We would have given them both. Fucking crying.
Gold. This is gold.
A llama? He's supposed to be dead.
Listen, you were like special dinner, and I was like, oh, right, the poison.
Poison.
Cusco's poison.
Cusco.
Poison for Cusco.
The poison meant for Cusco.
As they shake
Amazing.
up our glasses.
Yeah, right. How? If you don't mind me asking before you guys leave for a while, how long has Galagel been gone? Like, I know you said that you don't know when he will return, but when did he leave?
Aninia looks back at Egeron, sort of like the mentally like checking in with each. Has to have been at least a year.
Okay.
I do hope he wasn't in Ashcaleen.
I don't think so. I know the king left and took his forces south to meet the human king in combat, but I don't know if Galagel went with them or if he went on another errand entirely.
That's what my
Egeron,
father is.
meanwhile, is not talking. He's just staring at Fig.
Enchanted.
You know, Fig, you have such a lovely bed. Big enough for, well. And then I leave it at that.
Big.
My eyes flick to
Without skipping a beat.
Egeron.
Like, runs over, like, does like a flipping, kind of like tumbling aerial flip. What do you call those things? That
Somersault?
onto the bed. Yeah, somersault. It's that word. And like lays like Odalesque style.
You're
on the
fucking
bed.
Burt Reynolds-ing that pose is Burt
Yeah,
Reynolds
totally.
pose. Like, what's happening?
Totally does it.
You will
Like,
leave
the
when
hair's
Burt Reynolds
flayed
tells
enough.
you to leave.
And then she just grabs the bell and then sexy leg like this. She does just take the low bell and yeah, she like, what do you call it? Jingles it.
You're ringing the bell now?
Yeah,
With him right in front of her, yes.
staring at her.
Ninwell, maybe tonight I don't make the special dinner. Maybe I he sort of is just like gesturing with his eyes, just looking at his sister, just like,
You know, Atara, I feel like we can feed ourselves and Danielle can go and have a night off. Come.
Oh, all right. Yes, that is fine. All
Unless
right.
you'd like to stay with them.
No, let's go. Let us go.
my spinach pops! Aninyel turns, looks at Egeron, who's not looking at her at all.
Yeah.
And just sort of rolls her eyes and walks out of the room, turns, looks back at Fig, and just says, "Thank you again for the compliment on the greenery. Thank you. It's very nice." And she turns and walks back down the stairs. As she walks down the stairs, she yells back at her brother, You're in over your head. And
I pull Atara out and like begin to close the door, and I'm like, have fun pulling the lever. Pulling the lever multiple times.
Are you you're leaving the room and closing the door?
Yes. No, I don't want to. Unless can I watch?
Disappear?
All right, fine. You do you tonight.
We will say that the evening that is shared between Egeron and Fig of the Feywild is, for all intents and purposes, a magical one, where a very inexperienced elf is learned and instructed. And there is a certain percent of Atara that thinks Fig is gonna spirit away this elf and we never see it.
Not a succubus.
Will he be there in the morning?
So I think the key difference there, and correct me if I'm wrong, Fig, but the reason that the thing happened the last time was because this was very much a mortal. Yes. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Egeron is an elf. He's made of sterner stuff. Yeah.
I love the what? Step into my fairy circle.
Atara, you look like you had a question.
No, Atara is just like confused, rightfully so. There's been a lot going on, and she trusts Fig, but also they all slept in different rooms, and somehow shenanigans still happened. And again, there's part of her that's like, are we going to see this elf again?
You won't know till morning.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, Fig, give me a D100.
Ooh. Let me pull that dice out. Let's see. Let's do Fig's colors dice. This
shenanigans.
And this one, my sparkly dice. Alrighty. Woo. Right, one is cocked. Hold on. Let me get the other one. 72.
You rolled a 72?
72.
On a 72. Fig, this encounter, in many ways was almost a spiritual encounter, where it was a very deep connection that was achieved. And it was more like two spirits as opposed to two bodies. And it was enjoyable. Fig has been around a lot longer than this elf has, and has seen a lot more of the worlds, and so has a large treasure trove of experience. But there's something about this elf's youthful vigor. And I will say, based off of this, we'll say you gain advantage on a 1 wisdom-based roll for the next day.
That doesn't
on
teach
the other
Fig
side
lesson,
of the door.
by the way.
What's that?
That doesn't teach Fig a lesson, by the way.
No, you're teaching him a lesson the entire time. On the other side of the door, Atara and Elindra, are you going to your separate bedrooms, or are you going down for dinner?
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Oh, I was going to say that Atara would probably try and scrape together some kind of food.
Yeah, I was like, she'll go and grab something small, and grab a Smut book to bring back to a room with her. Also, there's a locked area here that you said.
Yes.
The purple
I'm curious
area.
about that as we descend. And can we pay extra?
We stop on that level first.
Yeah, can we pay extra close attention to the purple level?
You go down onto the purple level, and the magic coming off of this door
Boo. Sorry.
is sorry, what?
I said boo. You said magic, and I was like, darn it.
It is palpable.
Okay.
Like, you don't even have to use detect magic. It is very much felt as you approach this door.
Can I banish the door?
Oh.
Sorry, no, I'm kidding. I'm fully kidding.
His eyes rolled into his skull.
It's not the weirdest thing I've ever had asked of me in regards to doors before, so...
Listen, is it possible? Can we do that? Is that a thing?
It's a creature. It's a creature.
Is the door a creature?
This level's a mimic.
No!
Banished!
No, you just by looking at it, Elindra, you're able to tell that there are multiple wards placed on this door.
Ooh. Okay.
I don't think we should touch anything here.
All right. Perhaps we'll find something like a key or a matching ward, or I don't actually know how wards work. So
I can't dispel them, so I think we're out of luck.
Yeah. As they continue down to the kitchen, keeping an eye out for things that might
100%. We're both like, are there I have thieves tools, otherwise I would have tried, but I feel the magic.
Okay. You did say that you were stopping off on the yellow section.
We can.
Oh, I thought Elindra said that she was.
Oh yeah, she is.
Oh yes, I want the Smut book.
Is that library open?
It's a Smut collection.
I would like to state that it was never stated that it was.
What is it?
It was just the way Egeron or Ellenwell mentioned the room. It is a library of more specific topics.
Oh,
what's in here? Go on then.
As you enter this room, you see that there, it's almost part library, part museum.
Ooh.
There are, it's like almost as well part shrine to the Minthimae family. Off in the corner, though, there are a series of bookshelves that contain a wide variety, a wide assortment of books, things to do surrounding topics of the Hells, also the Celestial Plane, things to do with, just for the hell of it, Elindra, give me a D100 roll.
Ooh, hell yeah!
Oh, 85! 85. 85's pretty good.
You find upon this one shelf a myriad of books that all pertain to various qualities of Smut. With titles like 5 Ways to Rouse Your Man's Halfling, Barrymore's Big Rock Smasher, The Curious Little Gnome Inventor, Yuan T's Put Me in a Sex Cult, Beauty is in the Balls of the Beholder, Orcs pillaged my treasure hole, Goblin and Their Nimble Actions, Adventures into Asmodeus,
I take that one.
A Mind Flayer's Experiment,
No.
No.
The Bard That Can Make You Sing,
That's that's upstairs.
and last but not least, Vampires Don't Just Suck Blood.
I take that too.
You're taking 2.
I'm sorry. And
I put them in my bag.
Sort of stuck to Vampires Don't Just Suck Blood. There is also a smaller fan fiction. This was obviously written by somebody, but it's called The Bard's Natural 20.
Keyword is stuck to it. I am curious as to what a fiscus material.
I don't even care. I can press to digitize it clean. I take those 3 things and I shove them in my bag, and they are never coming back. I'm sorry, what was Asmodeus again?
Adventures into Asmodeus.
Thank you. The Hells books, and the Celestial books, anything that catches my eye?
Okay. So with the Hells, there is a series of not first-hand accounts, but people who have, but stories in different collections of people who have found their way into the Hells by complete accident and somehow managed to come back and tell the tale. It is descriptions of the various levels of the 9 Hells, the different lords who hold sway, and also some of the inner politics of the 9 Hells.
Most of which I'm sort of aware of.
Here's the thing. No, you would be aware of some of it. There's still some things that Mephistopheles doesn't necessarily tell you.
Yeah, no, I feel like there's a lot that I don't know and a lot that I forget.
Mm-hmm.
But like I have basic understandings of things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything on Asmodeus and his level of hell?
In terms of Nessus, and in terms of the city of Nessus and his throne there is nothing specific. The person who was there, it does give their name. This is someone who was a human, named Kreya Fenwick.
Please put that in the chat later.
Kreya Fenwick, who was banished there by accident.
Ooh.
That sucks. And then had to get all the way back.
Somehow, and here's
the thing. No, they come back.
They never have, in terms of the story that is told, they never say how they got back.
Oh, okay.
They just report on some of the things they saw, but in no way do they say what they had to do or how they managed to.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I would like to take note of the races and names, and then do like the little bit of information of like, so for Kreya Fenwick, we know that she was a human who was banished there by accident, and just like tiny little blurbs, and that she did not get out, or there's no account of like how.
Well, she got out. We just don't know how.
Okay, we don't know how she got out. I'd like to take those tiny little details from whose ever stories we can find.
So of the stories that you find, there are 10. You find one is from a dragonborn. There are 2 dwarves. There are 4 elves.
Okay.
So 1 Asimar, 2 dragonborn, or 1 ASMR, a dragonborn, 2 dwarves, 4 elves. Kreya is the only human.
Okay.
And then there is, I believe that leaves just 2 left. That is a halfling and a Goliath.
Question.
Hmm.
Is there someone that walked into Mephistopheles' area? Somehow?
There is mention of Kenya, but there is no mention of a direct interaction with the Lord of Kenya.
No. I'm not worried like direct, but like someone somehow made their way into Kenya.
Yeah.
And does it say how, or they just like walk through something?
They walked through an enchanted mirror.
Oh.
Okay.
And who was it? Which one of these 10?
This would be one of the elves.
Okay.
Their name is Aloth Cromelin.
Please put that in the chat. And does it say how they got back?
Again, these stories, a lot of detail, or not a lot, but just details about how they got into, like, what befell them. How did they manage to find themselves in one of the most horrible places you could possibly find yourself by accident?
Okay.
But in no way does it spell out like how they got back.
Okay.
You just know that they did because they left a record, or the person who compiled all of this took the records that they left.
Okay.
Cool. I'll get something to eat, and then, find a room and make myself cozy with one of my porn books for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Until I hear Atara settle down.
Okay. The food, as you enter the kitchen area, you do see Elinwell has actually, is just leaving food out. Said, sorry, I didn't have enough time to cook a complete meal.
You have the night off.
I know, but it's just something I would do regularly. So I didn't want to be rude and not leave anything out for you. So here we have some roasted white stag in cranberry sauce, poached and peppered quail eggs. We can have some roast heron and chopped sundew. We also have some duck.
I go and I take her hands and I say, it looks amazingly scrumptious. And now you can eat it with us and then retire and have a nice night to yourself.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's great. She brings her hand up and gestures at one of the large setup of cupboards, and the cupboard opens, and she brings 3 plates out that just sort of float directly in front of you, and she takes one and she gestures at the other 2.
Yep, I'll take mine and like fill my plate. And
yeah,
I'll
Atara
actually
grab a little of everything.
Okay. Are you staying and eating in the kitchen?
More plates.
I'm sorry?
I'm gonna get 2 more plates. I'm gonna fill them for Fig and Egeron, and leave
Put some respect
them...
on his name. No.
I'm sorry. And put them aside.
Okay.
So that there is food for them afterwards.
Okay. Are you going to eat in the kitchen with Elinwell, or are you going back to your rooms?
Yeah, I'll keep her company. I'll eat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Atara will do that thing where you're standing in the kitchen, and she would literally stand lean on the table.
Eat over the sink.
Elinwell at first seems slightly awkward because she's never eaten with a guest in the house. She's At first, she watches and waits for you to eat, and then she starts to feel more comfortable and starts to eat herself. And then she's so tell me, if you don't mind, a little bit more about yourselves. How do you find yourselves in the Crystal Expanse? And what, if you wouldn't mind sharing a song or a tale or both?
I look over at Atara.
Atara takes like a bite, like mid-bite. She's like, well, I mean, I was dead for like 7 years, so not really sure 100% what's going on right now. Is that a good tale for you? She like finishes the bite.
I'm sorry, you were dead?
Mm-hmm. She's
For 7
chewing and
years?
takes a big drink. Mm-hmm.
How is that possible? That's not. Wait, are you? I mean,
Listen, I do not know. I have not figured it out. There are lots of missing pieces, and I would like to get more than fragments. I'm getting some things back here and there, but there's no rhyme or reason, and everything just gets a little more complicated the more I am awake. So,
Well,
I'm sorry.
haven't figured it out to see truly how weird that is. I mean, the alternative is she takes like another bite. I could be dead. So
how did the two of you meet? How did the three of you meet?
Well, okay. So I'm actually from the Crystal Expanse, and then I decided I was going to go traveling, and I ended up in Ashcaleen, and then Ashcaleen blew up, and I found myself in a mountain pass with them. And then we teleported here because I was trying to go home, but I messed up.
Linwell's sort of like dumbfounded in this moment. It's kind of one of those things where it's like they did ask for a story in the song, but they didn't. But in this moment, they're like, it'd be really weird if both of them at the same time decided to just toss out the biggest lie they could think of.
yeah, right. Two truths and a lie.
Here's how I think Elindra says all that, and she's trying to be like of airs, like it's okay. But then there's just the smallest little seeing all of that death and all of the people that she met and she made connections with die. It did affect her. So there's just the smallest ever like tremor while she tries to cut something and then has to put it down for a second and there you have it.
Thoughts? I'm sorry. That sounds truly awful. So, what about the one upstairs, the one with my brother?
Oh, Fig. Fig is wonderful. I watched her perform in the Twilight Serenade. That's what it is, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The Twilight Serenade. It's that Fae circus that comes and goes.
Wait. She's a member of the Twilight Serenade.
Mm-hmm. And she's wonderful.
Oh.
She could have sang you a song. Not right.
That's... You see her just sort of get a very far off look.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
Can I insight?
Give me an insight check.
It's 13 and plus, what is it? My insight is 1. So 14.
There is definitely a change in countenance that you recognize. Specifically at the mention of the circus, the Twilight Serenade. Not really able to tell if it's positive or negative, though.
Okay.
there's definitely something that shifts, and you're not entirely sure what that means.
Now, how long has Big been up and they've been downstairs in the kitchen?
That is an excellent question. Give me a D4 roll.
D4. Let's do this color. 1.
He's the 1 minute man.
Roll with advantage.
Egeron, this whole period of Atara and Elindra going down into the yellow level, or first investigating the purple room, then going down into the yellow level, investigating the different books and the different things that they found there, then making their way finally back down into the kitchen, and having this conversation with Alinwell. It's taken about an hour. In an hour's time, Egeron is he is finished, and he is thoroughly used up.
He's a Kleenex. So,
He's fucking laying in your arms, looking up at you like you're the best thing that's ever happened to him.
So, can it be, if this is okay, like, Big comes down to the kitchen.
I point to the food.
Wrapped in like a bed sheet, like a toga party.
Amazing.
And comes in and it's just like, hi everyone. Just coming to get foods to bring back upstairs.
I made you plates, but
that?
she made the food.
Oh, you are so lovely, you two.
It's very good.
Yes. And so she just grabs. Can that happen, DM, before I just start taking over? Is that okay?
Yeah,
of course. Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Just asking, just making sure.
You determined how long Egeron lasted. You figured that out yourself. So yeah, whatever you wanted to do past that point, he is very much exhausted, asleep, unless you kicked him out upstairs.
So she just like grabs like the plate in one hand and just like pulls off a piece of fruit and just like pops in her mouth. And how does
she react? How does
Alinwell,
she react?
Places her plate down, puts down her utensils. So glad you enjoyed the food. I just remembered I have some duties to attend to. Sadly, with my brother, and a slight smirk crosses her face, being indisposed, I will have to do double duty for this evening. So I will be about my business. Have a good rest of your evening. Thank you so much for the stories.
Did you want me to wake him up? I can wake up your brother.
No. We gave her the night off.
Yeah, you don't have to do anything else.
It's very sweet of you to say that I have a night off. Unfortunately, I would be out of routine, and I'm very comfortable in my routine. But thank you.
Did I need to get him for you?
No. No, don't trouble yourself. I'll just leave. And,
can I grab her hand really lightly?
Sure.
And just I message her in her head. What's wrong? What happened? You don't like the circus?
She yanks her hand back away from you, and she looks at you as though you just murdered somebody. And says, don't ever fucking do that to me.
And
then she puts her hand down. She backs out of the room. and then she shuffles off.
I don't think that's ever happened to Elindra before. I don't think she knows what to do.
What did you do?
What? What did I walk in on?
Well, I mentioned that you were from the circus, and then she got all weird, and I asked her, because she was trying to run away, I asked her what happened, why, and then that.
I didn't hear you ask her anything.
And then I messaged you in your head. Yes, well, I don't always have to use my mouth.
You don't always have to yell.
In here, okay.
I'm sorry.
You probably freaked her the fuck out. Sorry, we're
What?
F words towards you. You probably freaked her out.
I think I'll literally sit there just picking at her food, like pouting.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm sorry, I missed it. What did you do?
I sent another message. Hello, I'm speaking in your head. I'm just picking.
She's quieter in your head.
Listen, I could see why that would be very weird for a stranger to pop up in your brain.
Darling.
I mean, yeah. That was weird though, the way she kind of responded and right? Like you would think, especially with this place like that entire floor being covered with magic, and you would think somebody had cast that before. Right? Like
I don't know. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. It's not like magic's not a thing.
just a little bit of an invasion, I think.
Yes, well, I didn't want to just pull her, grab her hand and say in front of everyone, oh, does Fig make you uncomfortable now that you know that she's a fae?
I make no one uncomfortable. I understand. I understand. So, I mean, it's okay. I did just bang her brother. Just
And lucky man.
now he is. Speaking of which, is there anything else for us? I bring this to go up there.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Okay.
She's got to feed them so they can have round two.
Yes.
You all finish your food.
Mm-hmm.
Fig, you make your way back to your quarters. Elindra and Atara, are you taking separate bedrooms, or are you okay? All right. So you make your way back to your bedrooms.
Before I go up, I leave a note on the table that just says, I'm sorry.
No.
You enter your bedrooms. You prepare to bed down for the evening. Elindra, do you sleep?
No. I'm poking at my hand, trying to figure out how to call him. Gosh it! Gosh it! You said I could use this to contact you. Hello?
Ring, ring, ring!
Banana phone!
As you attempt to trigger the scar on your hand, nothing seems to happen. Atara, what are you doing as you enter your room, or as you bed down for the evening?
Before she left the kitchen, she would have tried to find any kind of alcohol that she could have found, because she's going to try and trigger another memory.
There are a variety of different alcohols, all of them ranging in different colors.
She's gonna find whatever smells the strongest.
The strongest. Okay. It's actually,
yeah,
actually
right. It's green.
It's this very rich, dark, amber color, and it would appear to be. It is a sweet smelling.
Okay. Not tasting.
Sweet smelling mead.
Okay. Okay. She will take that with her and she will just kind of drink it directly from the bottle, to be honest. And see if she can trigger some other spark.
Okay. As you drink, no memory is unlocked.
Okay.
No new memory.
Okay.
You do have memories, though.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say not new is because these are memories from your past. And you capture glimpses which, with each sip, and as the sort of the alcohol warms you, you feel the burn. And it's not a memory per se, it's more so the impression of a location that was left in your mind. And it's the first time that you walked in two specific places. Once when you were a child, just barely outside of being a toddler. When you were first walking within the amethyst worm in Brecca. Second memory is when you were older. And you would have been in your early, maybe 20. And you remember this specifically because of its proximity to when you lost time and when you found yourself no longer in the material plane. But it's this specific moment, this impression of walking through for the first time as a woman of means and of station within the city of Brecca, belonging to the family that you belong to, of the I'm sorry, your family's last name, the Valors. Your family was a merchant family that had a very high station. Your mother ran your family. You were a part of a respected household within the Amethyst Worm, which was where all of the merchant clans were housed. And you knew that your family had enemies, but you always felt safe within the city. Like you felt like you could always walk freely.
Yeah.
And it's on this one specific occasion that you first encountered the area of the city known as the Rainbow Crown. And it's as you're going from the Golden Crescent into the Rainbow Crown, you hear the first notes of music and feel the first vibrant smell enter your nostrils. And it's almost a feeling of being transported, where the world of the Golden Crescent was very much commerce and very much industry, and all of the noise that you can imagine associated with the creation of goods and the selling of goods, the transporting of goods, to suddenly into a portion of the city where none of that matters. And it is all sights and sounds and smells. Specifically, the impression that's left in your mind most of all is the sound of the music. And how as you're walking through the streets, one bard will play a song on their instrument that will get passed. And this song gets passed through the streets to all of the variety of bards and buskers that are playing on all the corners.
Okay.
And it's that impression that you have of your first time entering the Rainbow Crown, which ended very well for you because, or actually technically not well, because your teacher, or actually your mother, found you and yanked you back home and explained to you that that is the entertainment and red light district of the city, and you're not supposed to be there.
Okay. Okay.
Don't tell me what to do, Mom.
Exactly. Rainbow Crown, it is the red light district, but it is also just the
art district.
It's the art district. It is the if you are an artist or a musician, it is where you thrive. And you can be an artist of many different means. And so it is a place that, like the Rainbow Crown, which is situated sort of around the center of this. At the center of the city, there is this obsidian black shard that sticks out from the sands and it ascends into the sky. If you're familiar with the Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
Yeah.
The Burj Khalifa, that building, think of that, and then you'll have an idea or an approximation for how large this shard is. And
Okay.
The Rainbow Crown is sort of situated, and the Golden Crescent are sort of situated around that.
Okay.
And as you ponder these impressions and these smatterings of memory, you wish, the only thing that you really wish is that you could hear your mother's disapproving tone once again. Just hearing them yell Atara would actually be the best feeling in the world.
Right. Okay.
Elindra, you are caressing the scar on your palm, and you don't hear anything from Groshin.
If I don't hear anything, she will cuddle up with a book, read like a chapter of a smutty novel, and then she'll try and rest for a little bit, like actually rest instead of trance.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay. So you're resting. Fig, you don't have to tell me in any detail. How does
Listen.
I'm not going to make you roll anything again. Just tell me just like how the evening progresses for you or how it finishes for you.
Go into detail.
Shush.
It's enough to write a book about. No.
Or at least a short little hand manual.
Really?
Stuck together with other books.
That can stick to the back of the book. That's what we want. We need it to be sticky enough to go to on the back of a book, right? We're good, right?
I regret everything.
I only quote the DM. So we'll say it's enjoyable. The next encounter she has with Egeron up there after they replenish and ate food and stuff. So
okay. We'll say that you fall asleep. You the big spoon, him the little spoon.
Oh God.
And it is a restful slumber for as long as you have it. I need each of you to give me a perception check.
Ah,
That's
boo.
fucking sus. This bitch is about to come out of nowhere and try and stab us, and I'm gonna have to kill everyone.
I'm mad at my dice tonight. I've just been playing with my dice, and it was just not.
Did you nat one?
No, I got a 2.
You're sleeping face down, okay? You're so out.
Kreya, I did twice as better than you.
You had a tough night. I 23. I'm dozing.
Technically, it was a 6 in total.
Whoa,
So-
you're better than me. I'm actually only 5 total.
I got a 23. It's okay. Something happened.
Elindra,
Yes.
on a 23, you don't hear Grajit's voice.
Oh no.
On a 23, you hear, and it's a bad thing that you're not hearing it from Atara, because
Stop it.
it's kind of their job. But you hear Mephistopheles' voice.
I throw my book. I don't know where he is, but I throw it away from me.
And he just, you hear just the voice, and it's just one word. Run. And it's at that point on a 23, you hear that, you hear the voice, and you hear the word run. And you suddenly hear the clatter of armored footprints, armored feet ascending the stairs. Like
who's
a
closest
large
to me?
amount of them.
Who's closest to me?
So the way the bedrooms are set up, it is you, then Atara, and then Fig had the master suite.
Okay. First thing I'm gonna do is sprint across to Atara's room.
They're right next to you. They're just boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
like I'm gonna just like I bust in there. I grab Atara and I
She's got a bottle and she's
dimension door them
humming.
Atara
500 feet away.
Atara is very shit-faced.
Yeah,
right
oh,
now.
for sure.
She doesn't have to do anything. I'm grabbing her and I'm putting her 500 feet away somewhere that I saw on the way here in a corner. And I'm gonna go back with another dimension door and grab Fig and use my special the wand that I have that gives me a spell slot back and take her and zip out of there back to where Atara is.
Okay.
Go.
You're naked, but that's what there is.
Oh shit.
She? It's fine. It's not cold here.
Okay. So you are 500 feet. So you're able to transport Atara just inside the area of the city known as the Starway. And you transport them there. They are very dazed and sort of just like, what?
We have to run. People are after us. Wait
and then
here.
suddenly you bamf back and you find Fig, big spooning Egeron, and do you wake them or do you just take them?
I just take them. I grab her, and I can only take one person.
Oh, okay.
So Egeron stays there.
Okay.
And I grab the sheet and take it with us.
Okay. You transport yourself and Fig to where Atara is. Atara, you are... Give me a Constitution check.
She's
A saving
just
throw.
getting to the point where she's standing.
And I am all out of spell slots.
You rolled a 4.
I rolled a 2.
For fuck's sakes.
I have a +2 to Constitution. So I got a 4 in total. She hurls all over your shoes.
Okay. Right now, you are drunk, Atara. So you have a -2 penalty to both intelligence and wisdom checks and saving throws.
No.
Elindra, you are the most alert of the this party of 3. Fig, you are wrapped in a sheet. You are standing in the middle of the Starway. You can see Galagel Minthimae's house all the way at the end of the street. And you see 2 very large ranks of appear to be elven soldiers. One rank running into the house, about 20 guards, looks like. 20 guards remaining on the outside as a perimeter.
What the hell? Is there anywhere... Oh, we have to... Is there anywhere we can hide?
There are a couple different buildings around you. All of them look to be residential of some kind of housing. There does appear to be some kind of like a pastry or a pastry cafe shop, like maybe 100 feet down the block.
I'm gonna use my ghostly gaze, which is the first time I've got to use this, but I can basically see through solid objects for a minute. So I can find us a place that's abandoned. Okay.
You trigger that spell. The cafe is not being used right now. It looks like it's closed. There are also a couple houses on this way where they do not appear to have anyone in them currently. This is like 3 of them.
I would rather find somewhere that we can get fig clothing.
Okay, that's a good reason.
So, one of the houses that is empty.
Okay, so just using your ghostly gaze, you find it's a smaller house as compared to Galagel's home, but it is nicely furnished. As you enter it, you see that it's nice. It's not as lavish or ornate as the mansion, but it is still nice. And you see that it basically only has like 2 levels to it. There's living or like dining and visiting area downstairs, and then the living portion upstairs.
Is the door locked?
You were able to lock the door.
Is it locked? Or is it open? We can just go in?
Yes, you can. Just
Okay. Yeah, go in, lock the door. Make sure there's no windows. Everyone down.
What is
Here's a
going
bucket.
on?
Throw open the bucket next time as I press to digitize my feet.
What is going on? Where are we?
What is happening?
I don't know. I heard my father's voice say run, and then I heard a whole bunch of people in armor running into our house.
Did he show
Saw
up?
them? No, I just heard my voice. I just heard the voice. It said run.
Sorry. Sort of. Okay, all right. So we ran, but I don't remember running anywhere. Why are there soldiers going into the bigger house?
I don't know.
Is it because you used that spell on the sister that I cannot remember the name of right now?
Maybe, I don't know. But that's a lot of men for just a cantrip. And then I'm gonna look for clothing.
I'll say you spent some time looking for clothing. You do find none of the stuff that you find is specifically for someone as tall as Fig. You do find some stuff that could fit. And you could also maybe try piecing some of the clothing pieces together. You guys did just fashion armor together, so I think it should be totally doable.
That's fair.
Yeah, we're gonna make her an outfit so that she can not have her bits on display as we run away.
Yeah, can I just can someone pass me a dagger, please? Good.
A dagger? Oh yeah, sure. Can we find?
Grabs one. And she starts like just hacking and slashing at the,
The different fabrics.
the different fabrics and like the sheet, and then just makes she and
like
druid
starts druid crafting.
Just for the hell of it, give me a performance check with advantage.
Amazing.
I'm gonna check with advantage. Okay, first one 16.
Hey.
Oh, I promise you, natural 20. Can you see it?
Okay, in the space of about 5 minutes, you've managed to piece together in like a flurry of speed with this dagger. Just you've pieced together an entire wardrobe selection for yourself. In sort of a very similar aesthetic to what you had previously. But actually it's not. It actually looks great because this is elven silk and elven like wear, and this is not something that has been traveled in. This is something that you would wear. So this is actually like a cut above what you were wearing previously.
There are no wrinkles.
Yes.
A
flawless drip. So it's at this point, Elindra, as you're sort of like looking outside, peeking outside the windows, you do see like there are several different squads of elven soldiers that are moving up and down the streets with what appear to be those a larger rod and like a crystal knob at the end with the light dancing on the inside of it.
They're looking for us.
Oh.
If I'm useless unless I get at least half an hour.
What if we just lay down on the ground very quietly?
We could definitely do that and take our chances. If I get half an hour, I can cast that circle spell again and we can run home.
Half-hour nap on floor. All right.
All right, that's 2 out of 3. So let's go ahead and do this. I will crouch guard.
Pig,
Or
can you make... Do you have the ability to make 2 people invisible?
let me see actually.
Can you twin spell?
Can I twin spell? I can mirror image.
Well, you said you had invisibility.
I have
right?
invisibility.
And if you have a sorcerer twin spell.
If I do a 3rd level, it do not. It just looks like it's only up to 2nd level.
I can make
invisibility
darkness
is a 2nd level spell
for 10 minutes.
Yeah, I can't cast. Can I cast this DM at 3rd level?
I mean, you can always upcast a spell.
Yeah, and I can just use one of my sorcerer slots.
Your sorcerer, what I'm asking you is, for your sorcerer meta magics, what do you have? Subtle spell, twin spell, empower spell.
You have empowered and quickened.
Thank you. Those things.
So you couldn't, I don't know if you can upcast invisibility. Can you?
Can I? Yeah, can I? This is wondering because all I see for my empowered spells, I can use a sorcery point to re-roll, but
I don't think you can, because this technically is not a spell for you. This is because of something else. If you look underneath...
Shadow Touch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's try and make it so that we can't be seen. Darkness? Darkness is good.
I can make darkness for 10 minutes. And then
that.
Hey.
Okay, so casting invisibility.
Correct.
Okay. And the rest of you?
We're going to be looking for like a room without windows, and we're going to go up.
Okay, so the second level.
Yes.
You make your way up to the second level. This is also the area where you found some of the clothing items.
Okay.
There are some very large bedrooms with some walk-in closets, along with one of the rooms is very lavishly adorned. This is obviously the master bedroom with like a very large suite or a very large vanity in it with a window that looks out onto the city, and with a very
The city, and
yes. So you are out of this window. You can see the city itself, and despite sort of the harried moments that you're having right now, the city actually does look very peaceful and beautiful outside. And you. At this point, you're trying to like retrace your steps. Like, what is going on? Why is this happening? You did pick up the change in countenance when the Midnight Citadel was, or the Twilight Serenade. When the Twilight Serenade was first mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And that definitely triggered a change in I remember her name, Aninwell.
Yeah, I just don't know why.
Yeah. The guards that we saw, the Elven guards, they're from this city, right?
Yes, they are.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna sit on the floor in trance if I get away with it.
Okay.
For 30 minutes.
I'll say, how many minutes are you doing it?
30 because
30.
I only have, because I feel like because I'm an elf and I don't have to sleep and I can transfer 4 hours, my short rest should be 30 minutes because it's an hour.
Right. So you transfer
sense.
30 minutes and you get your spell slots back.
Yes.
Yes, so you do that short rest. During that time, you are not discovered. There's no. You do hear a knock on the door, but then you hear the sound. There's like a moment of just pause. There's no response, so the guards keep moving down the street.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Amazing. That's great.
Shit.
What?
That's just Elindra. Shit.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
Did you share with Fig that you mentioned the Twilight? Okay. Fig. There could be any number of reasons why the mention of the Twilight Serenade could have garnered a less than favorable reaction from any of the elves here. For whatever reason, it was not triggered by the paladin that you encountered. But the moment that this elf found out about it,
Yeah.
they suddenly, something changed, and then they pieced out real quick. In terms of what the Twilight Serenade is about, they tend to, because they're just naturally just very chaotic and they just thrive on that, they will take people and they will bring them into the Feywild and do who knows what, and take them on all sorts of different adventures and create all sorts of different chaos. And there's been many times when the person brought back is altered in terms of their they just know a lot more about the world or worlds than they ever thought possible. And it's not always good. They're not harmed. The key thing is they're not physically damaged in any way.
Mentally though, traumatized.
Mentally they have they've seen, in the words of Patrick Stewart, they've seen everything. They've seen it all. It is possible that Korth Vol is wanted by certain elven families. It is possible that any member of the Twilight Serenade might be wanted. You don't travel to the Crystal Expanse when you make your routes. It's always into Ashcaleen. You're there for a certain amount of time, and then you peace out, and you take your booty and you go. And then you come back a year later, and then you deposit that booty back where those people were from.
Yeah.
It is interesting that nothing was brought up by the elders, though, when you encountered them yesterday.
Oh my god. The guy's house that we were staying in got taken. Tell me, come on now.
What if it had nothing to do with us and it had to do with the purple level?
Because we didn't even try and get in. We just knew that there was magic.
No, I mean, this guy's been gone for a year, and they don't really know where he went, when he was going to be back, kind of what he's doing. Who knows? We also didn't check to see if they were coming for us or not. We just left.
Listen,
Right,
Daddy
yeah.
said run, and I ran.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Oh.
Once. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, once we're rested, she'll look at you and go, I can take us back to where I'm from, if you like.
Yeah. Any place from that's not here.
Is it going to be the same way it was earlier, and am I going to get even more dizzy than I am now? She's
Listen.
laying on the ground still.
If you vomit, we'll clean it up.
Okay, let us go. And she, sits up.
Okay.
It's gonna take me a minute.
So you're
all right.
So Elindra,
Back
you're
down.
going to start making a teleportation circle.
Yeah. To Elithir. Elithir.
Exactly.
Thrathriel.
Perfect.
You spend
What I said.
it's 10 minutes, correct?
1.
1 minute. You spend 60 seconds. Got it down pat. You spend the next minute creating very quickly a teleportation circle. That is
Burning it into
serviceable.
the floor.
And you know exactly where it's supposed to go. The circle, you trigger it, roars to life, and it illuminates the entire room.
Ah!
Shit,
And-
come on.
You have how long before you have to jump in?
Immediately we have to go through.
Okay,
We are
All right.
immediately going through.
you're immediately going through. You are all transported away from Ganadel,
At night.
and you. The teleportation circle opens, and you come back up, and you find yourself within the city of Elithir.
I hold your hair to the side.
She hurls.
Atara, you blow all
Yeah.
over the teleportation circle and all over the two guards who are standing right there guarding the teleportation circle for Elithir, or at least this portion of Elithir.
Sorry.
The
I
guard is
press
standing there
digitize.
just looking down at his armor. This is just sort of covered in vomit, and looks up at you.
I start digitizing him immediately.
Listen, that is going to happen probably more frequently than we think.
Yeah.
I'm so thank you.
She's not well.
From whence, from where come? What brings you to Elithir?
I put my hair back over my ears. I'm coming home.
Oh, I'm sorry. The name then?
My name is Elindra Shadowgast.
Elindra Shadowgast. Oh, welcome home.
Yes.
You've been gone quite some time.
A little bit.
Okay. And these are your
My
companions?
friends. Yes.
Okay. Very well. And on that, you have found yourself within the capital city of the Elven Kingdom. The teleportation circle fades behind you, and you stride off the dais, past the guards, and past this archway that enters into this winter wonderland of a city. Even more so than Ganadel. Like, this is... I'll direct you to, like, the first several minutes of Superman with Christopher Reeves. When you see Krypton, it is Krypton, basically. All of these massive pillars of ice, and all crisscrossing at weird, odd angles, and all of them casting light in a variety of ways. And there are all of these structures just everywhere in front of you. You find yourself within the Elven capital of Elithir. And that is where we will leave it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Tune in next time to see what becomes of our triumvirate as they continue to explore the Crystal Expanse and the capital city of the Elven Kingdom of Elithir. And hopefully a warm homecoming for Elindra. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Somebody's in trouble. I'll just say that. And we'll figure out who that is next time. Love you all. Hope you have a great rest of your week, and may you roll nothing but nat 20s.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.